collaborative performance piece. This is Storm.
Soft curves on a warm day, raindrops dance on snowflake spray. On a delicate balance the tide lays, storing its force with patience it waits.
On the rocks, a solitary sailor cries out in frustration at the feeling of isolation as the waves crash behind him and the birds circle above him, shrieking at the destruction left below.
The waves are rolling in as the lighthouse sits and beams its brilliant white smile to help the ships lost at sea find safety for a while, whilst the wreckers wait like the trees shaped by the wind to be reckoned for their treasure amongst the salty, shallow waves.
The vicious atmosphere of violence, the flash that left to danger, dust filled the air that soon become part of the surface. Waves, they folded in.
Waves hurling themselves at the rocks. The anger is such a thing, attacking all in its path, creating end times, but making anew. This storm, known as a destroyer, is the bringing of life.
Batter down the hatches for the force of the storm. An eerie silence sucks the life from the dawn. A shudder of thunder and an electric light fills the sky so blindingly bright. A crashing crescendo of excitement and noise, a whirling dervish on a land that's poised. A riotous ricochet of rolling roars across the sky, booming like a wild beast of the night. Mark's going to do a different poem. So
okay, we'll give it up for the storm! Like an hour and a half ago, so that is brand spanking new, fresh. Make some noise, properly! All right, a very talented young MC who is local to Launceston, or is it Lanston? Is it Lanston? Lanston. Local to Lanston. So please give it up for Aaron!
From the earth falling skybound, the swans, geese and the swallows on the wind carry the sound. From the ninth cloud, looking over mountain tops, echoes swirl around. Above the winds and the oceans, no calmer commotion. Words spoken in slow motion, lives are broken with no emotion. And as the trees turn to rust, the world around crumbles to dust. The cycle of its working through its core to the crust, wanting more is to lust, to ignore is just the beginning of the war of trust, because life was always going to be tough. The world is not enough, I'm always needing more stuff. The wisdom of consumerism is taking over all of us. A rough sea, the breeze shakes the trees, a feeling of unease as through the wave of tuts, someone emerges and erupts. The world sits up, clears its throat, journalists poised, ready to take note, and through the noise the tone is clear. People peer around the edge to catch a glimpse of what lies ahead, resist the temptation to lie instead, avoid the long nights of crying in bed, because now the skies are red, the eyes are red, the good books have all been read, the good quotes have all been said, change is all that's left.
New poetry that's literally just emerged from the brain of its creator. Mark literally wrote this poem out the back a minute ago. So please give it up for Mark on the mic!
I only wrote it about 5 minutes ago, so it's kind of it's about what this evening's all about, really. It's about honouring a bloke who gave such a lot to this town and inspired so many people. There lived once a man, wise, witty, and importantly poetic. He taught for years at a local school. He lived in a terraced house down a steep, windy hill. He was no one's fool. For years he illuminated ability. He shone like a beacon of intelligence and inspiration. The pen was his torch and the paper his forest. He lived as such all his life. I don't believe he took a wife, but what do I know? Like many, not enough about this amazing man. He was the type who was quiet, unassuming, one to lie low. His name was Charles Causley, and he was the unparalleled hero of Launceston. Not with force or arms, but with the pen he fought to meekly pave his turf. a true literary hero. Basically, it's what this whole evening's about. Really, it's about honouring Charles Causley. So I thought if I had to write a poem, I'd write it about him tonight. Really.
Give it up for Mark on the mic! Alright, okay, so next up we're going to play a set for you as Dizreali and the Small Gods. We're going to be on in about 15 minutes time, so take your time to go and have a cuddle out back and get a drink and all that kind of good stuff. We'll see you in 15 minutes time. Give it up!